Testing.
Yes, good.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. We're far from the shallow now. Whoa, whoa, I'm on the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. We're far from the shallow now.
So wasn't that wonderful? So that was the two of them singing at a local talent show. And so they also sang at the service at Sacramento last Sunday. So I really love this song, and I haven't even seen the movie, actually. but I like the song, and so I looked at the lyrics, and I thought, wow, this song is actually a very Buddhistic song. So I'd like to share with you how I interpret this song, Shallow by Lady Gaga. I must be getting hard of hearing as I'm older, because when I first heard this song, I thought it was talking about shadows. In the shadow, shadow. Oh, it's shallow. So, song by Lady Gaga. So the first verse goes, tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? Is there something else you're searching for? And I think we're all searching for something but we don't know exactly what it is. Look at Prince Siddhartha. He had everything, material wealth, status, everything you could ever imagine in life, but yet his life was not fulfilled. He was searching for something, and he went on a long spiritual search. The next verse goes, I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself, longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. So sometimes, even when life is going good, we can fall into sort of a funk or into a depression. And we long for change because we think it might bring us out of our funk or our depression. So we seek change in, well, maybe if I get a new set of clothes, maybe if I can find some new friends, maybe if I get a new job, then that will be the change that can bring me out of my funk or the depression. And then the verse, and in the bad times I fear myself. So when times are bad, we have all kinds of fears. Will the bad times ever end? Will I ever be happy again? Sometimes people can fall into a very sort of deep hole and wonder if they'll ever be able to get out of that hole. Then the verse goes, tell me something, boy, aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more, in it hard, keeping it so hardcore? And sometimes we have a void in our life. We have an empty feeling. It could be caused by loss, like the loss of a loved one, or losing a job. But sometimes we don't even know what's causing the void, just sort of a hollow, empty feeling within us. So how do we find what we're searching for? How do we fill the void in our life? How do we keep from falling into a funk or a depression? And how do we live with the many fears we might have and encounter? Well, I think that through Buddhism, we can find the answer to all of those questions. We find what we are searching for, our truest self, the truth of the Dharma, a life of awakening. And when that occurs, we fill the void in our life. Our feeling of emptiness is gone, and we're able to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. We don't worry about falling because we are grounded in the Dharma. We stand on the ground of humility, the lowest place, but the most secure place. So all of our fears are gone. We don't fear failure. We don't fear loss. We don't fear rejection. We don't even fear illness or death. Of course, no one wants to get ill, but we don't fear it like before. And then this final verse, to me, is the great conclusion to this song and the deepest meaning. So it goes, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in, I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface, where they can't hurt us, we're far from the shallow now. So the meaning of shallow versus deep. So the path of Buddhism, the journey of Buddhism, is going from the shallow waters to the deep waters. When we first begin on this journey, it's like entering the ocean, and first it's just covering our feet, then it's ankle deep, then it's knee deep, then it's waist deep. But if we keep going, eventually the ocean becomes fathomless. So initially we're in the shallow waters, but if we continue to listen, learn, and reflect, then we enter the deep waters of the ocean. Our understanding deepens. So we have to dive into the teachings. We have to dive into the deep end and experience the depth of the teachings. And there we find unfathomable depth of meaning in the teachings, and like it says in the song, will never meet the ground. When we crash through the surface and reach the depth of the teachings, then nothing can hurt us, meaning we are able to face anything in life. So if we stay on the path, continue to seek, listen, and learn, then we too will be far from the shallows now. So this is how I see the Buddhist message in this song, Shallow. The teachings, as I often say, are all around us. They're not necessarily on a certain page of the service book or the certain page of a sutra, but when we come to listen and receive the teachings, then we begin to see it in our everyday life all around us, in the lyrics of a popular song, in a comedy message, in a conversation with a taxi driver or a bartender even. There's teachers and teachings everywhere in our life around us. Naman David, Naman David, Naman David, Naman David.